Strength wasn't an option, it was survival. Some people aren't strong because they chose to be. They're strong because there was no one else to carry the weight. Strength, for them, wasn't a personality trait. It was a requirement. Tara learned early that there wasn't much room for softness. Responsibility arrived before she understood what it meant. There were things that needed handling, and no one else stepping in. So she did. She learned not to cry where anyone could see, not to complain, not to fall apart, because falling apart meant things would collapse. She became reliable, composed, the one people counted on. And over time, she started calling this strength. People praised her for it, admired how much she could handle, trusted her with more because she never said no. But inside, something was quietly wearing down. There was no space to rest, no permission to be unsure, no room to say, "I can't do this today." Strength had stopped being empowering. It had become exhausting. Years later, Tara noticed how tense her body stayed, even in calm moments. How hard it was to ask for help. How guilt surfaced whenever she tried to slow down. She told herself this was just who she was. But one quiet evening, after yet another day of holding everything together, a different thought surfaced. What if this wasn't strength, but survival? The realization didn't weaken her. It softened something she had been gripping too tightly. She hadn't chosen this role. She hadn't volunteered for it. She had adapted because she had to. And adaptation, while powerful, comes at a cost. For the first time, Tara allowed herself to separate who she was from what she did to survive. She wasn't indestructible. She was human, shaped by circumstances that demanded too much, too soon. That understanding changed how she spoke to herself. She stopped asking why rest felt hard. She stopped judging herself for needing support. She stopped expecting herself to carry everything without strain. Strength didn't disappear, but pressure did. If you had no choice but to be strong, this might resonate. You might struggle to admit when you're tired. You might feel uncomfortable leaning on others. You might believe slowing down means letting people down. But survival strength isn't meant to last forever. It's a response, not an identity. You don't have to keep proving your resilience. You don't have to earn rest through exhaustion. You don't have to remain in survival mode just because it once kept you safe. Recognizing what you carried doesn't make you weaker. It makes you honest. And honesty creates room to breathe. If this story felt familiar, take a moment to acknowledge what you survived. You don't need to relive it. You don't need to justify it. Just honor it. And remember, now that you're safer, you're allowed to step back. If you'd like, stay for the next reflection. We'll keep unlearning survival gently together.